For the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Despair 'cause the flames won't burn us.
So guys, my quest to add more and more RGB peripherals to my setup has brought me to this point where I just could not resist purchasing another one of these RGB gaming mouse mats. So this is the Goliathus Extended Chroma soft gaming mouse mat from Razer, and from my intro video you might be able to tell that it's got an RGB neon glow wire that surrounds the entire edges of the mouse mat. Okay, but before I go any further, let's first do an unboxing and see what we get inside the box. Then I'll talk more about the mouse mat, how the surface is like, how the gaming experience is like, and most importantly, how is the RGB LED light. So inside the box, obviously you get the Epic mouse mat. Then inside the mouse mat tucked away is the user manual, and you also get two shiny Razer stickers. And if you're wondering, yes, this mouse mat will take up a USB port on your computer because this thing is powered off USB, and you will also need to install Razer's Synapse software. So if you already use Razer peripherals, you already know what Synapse is. Okay, so let's do the honors. Oh, this thing is huge. I did not expect this mouse mat to be this big. So if you do have a small desk, you might want to skip over the extended edition. And just for a comparison, I'm gonna put my Firefly on the mouse mat here, so just to get an idea on how big this thing is. Okay, look at that. But damn, gotta say though, this thing looks beautiful on my desk. That matte black finish looks awesome. So this is the light controller box, and this is where the USB cable goes in. And this is on the top left hand side corner of the mouse mat, so it's not gonna interfere with your mouse wire, so that's good. And as soon as you plug in the USB cable, the edges of the mouse mat light up like a Christmas tree. Now coming to the lighting, this mouse mat sort of has this neon glow wire thing going on. So the wire starts from here and ends over here, and it goes around the entire edges of the mouse mat. And I'm quite surprised to see this thing is quite evenly lit. So even when you move onto the far side of the mouse mat, you can see it's still quite bright, and it's certainly way more visible than the Razer Firefly. So the Firefly has this RGB lighting which is inside over here. Meanwhile, the Goliathus has this neon wire which goes around the edges of the mouse mat, and it's visible all the time. And the light controller is located at the top left hand side corner of the mouse mat, so it's right over here. Now the material at the bottom of the mouse mat is this rubber material, and no, it won't slide around because that rubber material grips the mouse mat quite nicely to the table. So even if I try and move this, you see it won't move. So you have this nice grip at the bottom so that it does not move during your gaming sessions. So my Razer Chroma setup includes the Blackwidow Chroma V2. Now I would like to have the Razer Huntsman Elite, but yeah, it's too expensive, can't afford that right now. And next up we have the Razer Lancehead Tournament Edition. It's a really nice mouse. It glides smoothly over the Goliathus Extended, and obviously we have the Goliathus Extended, new addition to my setup. And we also have the Firefly. This is the cloth edition, and this is also a really nice mouse mat. Okay, so this is my final setup, and you can clearly see how big the Goliathus Extended Chroma really is. I mean, it covers up the entire keyboard, and it covers up the entire Razer Firefly mouse mat. So yeah, this is quite a big mouse mat. So I think I might move the Firefly out to a different PC and just use the Goliathus Extended. So I've turned off the monitor and the overhead light so you guys can get a better idea on how the neon glow tube light is like on the mouse mat. So compared to the Firefly, this is a much better idea. I mean, this is more clear and it's more visible than this edge lighting on the Firefly. So I do kind of like this style of lighting on the Goliathus Extended. Now as you can see, audio visualizer does work on the Goliathus Extended Chroma, but you don't have that individual lighting zone thing going on as you get with the Firefly. So you only get a single color with the Goliathus Extended, so that's one disadvantage of the Goliathus Extended. You don't have different lighting zones on here. But yeah, the thing is, audio visualizer does work. Now, apart from the size, there are 3 key differences between the Firefly and the Goliathus Extended. Number 1, the Goliathus does not have different lighting zones like the Firefly does, so you can only set a single color on the neon glow tube at any given time. So unlike the Firefly, there is no rainbow effect on the Goliathus, and this might turn some people off from buying this because that rainbow effect is quite popular in the gaming community. Number 2, the Goliathus is completely flexible while the Firefly is not. And finally, number 3, the Goliathus comes in a soft micro texture cloth surface, while the Firefly also comes in hard plastic surface. Some people might prefer the hard plastic surface, but in my opinion, the micro texture cloth surface is much better, although this is quite subjective and a personal choice. And one more thing I've noticed is that the cloth surface on the Firefly is on the finer side. So I've got the Razer Lancehead Tournament Edition mouse, and I played a few games just to get a feel of how the mouse mat is like, and I gotta say, it is awesome. I feel that my Firefly Cloth Edition is a little bit more smooth, but I am kind of liking the coarse surface of the Goliathus. It kind of gives the mouse a little bit more control, and the mouse mat is so big, you don't have to worry about running out of the mouse mat real estate. Alright, so let me show you the different lighting effects on the Razer Goliathus Extended Chroma mouse mat. Now, this one right here is the breathing effect, and all of these effects are controlled through Razer Synapse software. So this one is set to breathing and random color, otherwise you can select 2 colors. This is set to green and blue, and yes, it is cycling through green and blue. And I've turned off the lighting on my other peripherals, so the Firefly is dark, so is the keyboard, so that you guys can see this lighting effect. And actually it's quite bright. I did not think that the Goliathus Extended would be this bright, but yeah, it's kind of bright, and that is cool. So next up we have reactive. Let's set it to long. So reactive is whenever you press a button on your mouse, it will light up, and I think it only works with Razer mouse, so I'm using the Razer Lancehead Tournament Edition. I think you need a Razer mouse for this reactive effect to work, but I think this is kind of cool, and you can apply it to other Chroma enabled devices. And now I think the mouse will also work with the reactive effect. Well, there you have it. Okay, so the next one we have is spectrum cycling. So the mouse mat will now cycle through the different colors. I think this one can support up to 16 million colors. And then lastly we got static. So static is, you can set a single color and leave it there. So let's try red. Look at that, blood red. And there's also this audio meter on here. Now when you play something, for example, let me play this video, the audio meter will sort of work like, for example, if the volume is low, it will light up green.
You guys already know, but
as you increase the volume, the color changes.
Running a Core i7-3770 non-K CPU, and it's not overclocked.
So you can see as the audio levels change, the color of the mouse mat also changes.
This is the native resolution of.
So these are pretty much the lighting effects you get with the Razer Goliathus Chroma Extended. So my conclusion is that overall the Razer Goliathus Extended is a great mouse mat. The light pipe is bright and it is clearly visible. The micro texture cloth surface is a treat, and the mouse just glides over it. And of course the big size makes it even more awesome because you don't have to worry about running out of the mouse mat surface while you're gaming. The only downside would be that there are no individual lighting zones and therefore there's no rainbow effect, but to be honest, that's not a deal breaker, especially for me. And if you want a good big size mouse mat with RGB lighting, go get the Razer Goliathus Extended Chroma. It's a great mouse mat. Thumbs up from my side. And do stay tuned for more videos on PC stuff like this, and I will see you guys next time.